I'm gonna have the homie Capolero on.
Me and the West Side homie
Capolero.
Wow.
Little, hell yeah.
Doing Tito's, baby. Cheers. Good.
Gotta go check it out, man. That was Capolero.
What's up, Mouse? I see you. My boy. I hope you're doing better. I need to call you.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to Campolito, man. I've been fucking with him, man, lately, man. You know, look, you motherfuckers ain't even knowing. I knew right away. As soon as I heard one of his videos, I knew right away. I knew right away he's solid. I knew.
It's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Yeah. Yeah, I got the video. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot.
Let's get to it. Now, here's your track.
Bang, bang, bang. The haters are gonna hate anyway, any day. Gonna say what they say anyway, 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 anyway. Bang, bang, bang.
Radio! Tonight is definitely a late night. What's up, homies? How you guys doing? Anyways, I'm out here this early morning, just, I don't know, going for a walk. Look at that. Just at the park. It's early, it's cold, but I don't give a fuck. It's freedom. I was just thinking about a few things and, you know, just enjoying the freedom. I've been out for a while now. Shit, quite some time. And it's you just got to remember, you know, sometimes when things get rough or we start feeling bored or whatever, you got to remember that because I've had moments where I've been like, I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck, and just don't care about getting in trouble or nothing. And man, I haven't even shaved or anything yet. Fuck. All right, got a little earphone. Anyways, there's times when we feel like giving up, and times when or we just don't care. We drink a little bit, and we're like, anyways, we drink a little bit or whatever, and we start like being reckless, not giving a fuck, and that's not cool. That's not the way. And where I'm sitting right here reminds me of a time when I was going through some shit, right? And I was feeling really like down and out. Everything, like I wasn't working. My car got repoed. Me and my girl were bad. You know what I mean? And it's so many like excuses. I was feeling kind of suicidal, right? So I came to this park right here, and I was chilling one night actually, and it was like fucking midnight or something, and I was playing some songs and shit, just feeling sorry for myself, you know, and I was going through it, you know, and I was at that point, like I said, I was feeling suicidal. Well, things should never be that bad, and I'm glad I was strong enough to get through it. But what happened was I was sitting here and the music was going, and it was just me at the park. It was late as fuck, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this dude came, and he had this like pole, like I don't know what the hell it was, and he slammed it on the table, whack, right there in front of me on one of these little tables right here. And I was like, what the fuck? And I turned, man, that fool could have just murked me right there. He could have just got me. And he had a gun in his waistband and shit. And I was like, fuck. But it's funny, the way I was feeling, I just looked at him and I smiled. And I was like, I said, hello, Satan. Did you come for me or what? And he was like, what? He didn't understand what I was talking about. And I was like, I said, hello, Satan. And he's like, man, you don't come to me. He goes, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to kill someone tonight. And I was like, I don't care. Like, you ain't scaring nobody, bro. And then he's like, oh, you want to die? I said, well, that's what I'm here for. What do you think I'm here, man? I was like, shit. He goes, man, you think of what? You think I won't fucking kill someone? You think I'm scared? And I said, hey, Holmes, nobody said you're scared. I don't even know who the fuck you are, dog. And he goes, well, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, good for you. But it seems to me like you got a lot on your mind, bro. And he's like, he said, man, no, fool, I don't give a fuck. I'll kill someone. I said, look, I see the gun in your waistband. I see whatever you're doing, sneaking around this park this late at night. He's like, I'm waiting for some of my homeboys because I'm going to kill them. first homeboy, and I thought you were one of them. I was about to kill your ass right now. And then he goes, then I realized you ain't one of my homeboys, but fuck it, you'll do. And I was like, look, bro, it seems like you got a lot on your mind. Why don't you sit down and talk to me for a while and shit? Things ain't that bad. And he's like, what do you mean? You don't know me? And I was like, look, sit down and have a drink. I had some Fireball, right? And I said, sit down and have a drink, and we could talk about it. And then all of a sudden, all my problems went away, and I was concerned with this cat, right? I was like, wanting to help him out because he's going through a lot more than I was. And I was like, so what's going on, bro? And he's like, nah, you don't get it. He's like, fucking, my brothers are against me, my uncle against me, my homeboys are against me. They're treating me like if I don't fit in right here. And I go, wow, what happened? Because man, it don't fucking matter. And then so I was like, man, talk to me, fool. He's like, fuck that. And I was like, dude, you can talk to me, dog. And he's like, you know what, man, fuck you. And he jumped up again. He's like, you think I don't give a fuck to kill? Think I don't give a fuck about killing? He pulled his strap out. And then I was like, but he didn't point it. He just pulled it out. And then I was like, dude, I'm sure you will. Who gives a fuck? Ain't no one questioning you, bro. I was just like, come on, sit down and have another drink. And he's like, hey, what did you say that you were here for? And anyways, he said, what did you say that you were here for? And I told him, like, right now it's not important, but let's talk about your problems, what's going on. And so he sat down, he started talking, and I swear to God, this fool started crying, bro. He started crying. I was like, oh man, what the fuck? I'm not ready to deal with this shit because I'm not real affectionate type, and I'm like, but I don't know why. I was like, I gave that motherfucker a hug. I swear, I just gave him a hug and shit. I was like, bro, it's gonna be all right, dude. I said, it ain't worth it. Nothing's worth it. You know what I mean? You're out here every day that you wake up is a good day to be alive, and while I'm saying it, I'm like talking to myself as well, and I'm thinking, fuck. And so we went back and forth. And there was a couple points I could have just like, there's one point where we started arguing actually, and because he was saying some dumb shit, and I got a hold of him, and I could have snatched his strap. I could have fucking just been done with him. You know what I mean? Because then he's like, "What, you think I'm scared to fight?" I was like, "Well, put your strap down." This fool put his strap down, and I go, "Come on, man." You know what I mean? And then he's like, "Man, I ain't trying to fight." And then he put his head down. I gave him another hug. I was like, "Fool, it's gonna be all right, dog. You're going through it." I said, "Man, pick your gun up. Pick it up." So he picked it up. He wasn't pointing it. He just had it. And I said, "What'd you say you're here for?" He goes, "I'm gonna kill a couple of my homeboys." And I'm like, "Fuck, like, what you going through, bro? What is it?" And then he goes, "Are you active?" I go, "Yeah, I'm active." "What do you mean? What is it? Am I active? What the fuck you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, I see. So you're on that side then, the good side." I was like, whoa. Now I'm starting to put it all together, right? And I'm thinking, okay, he must have fucked up on the yard or something. And I told him, so what happened? You not no good or what? And then he's like, you know what? It don't fucking matter what happened in there. All I know is I thought I had homeboys and family. So what? I made a bad decision. So what? But when I came home, my own flesh and blood, my brother, because I got like one or two brothers, I forget how many he said. But he had a brother or brothers from his neighborhood, and he goes, they don't want to fuck with me no more. My Theo, who I look up to, he didn't want to fuck with me no more, you know. So my family was like, they had me like just get the fuck out of here, you know. I went to my hood and they told me, and they fucked me up. Well, that's what he said, they fucked me up. And I was like, and they said, if we see you again, we're going to take you out and shit. And he was like, I just went home and I fucking cried, bro. And he's telling me that. He goes, but I ain't no punk. And I'm like, no, I ain't no one saying you're a punk, dog. I was like, go on, tell me about it. He goes, and then he goes, but then I got mad. I got mad because these are supposed to be my homeboys, and this is my uncles, and these are my brothers, and everybody's against me and shit. Because even my lady's tripping on me and shit. And I go, nah, I'm sure it ain't about that. She goes, nah, just because she a bitch. And I'm like, well, you know, they can all be crazy sometimes, you know? And then he's like, yeah, but he goes, so I just figured, fuck it, I'm gonna come to this park because this is where my homeboys hang out. And he goes, and the first one I see, or everyone that I see, I'm gonna take them out until I can't take out anymore, and then or they take me out, or the cop, sheriff, or whatever. I'm like, bro, I was like, that's not a way to think and shit. You know what I mean? You need to get past that, because I said, honestly, I don't know what to tell you on some of that, but I noticed that somewhere while you were talking, you mentioned having some kids. I don't remember how many kids you had or whatever. You said they're little, and he was drinking. You could tell. So I was like, "You've been drinking. Maybe that's why your lady's tripping, because you probably acted like an asshole." But you know what? You say that nobody cares about you, but they do. You know, your kids depend on you. You know, regardless of what's going on with you and your lady, I'm sure you can fix it, but if you can't, fuck it. You got them babies to worry about, and that's what's the matter. And look at you, man. You're free. And then he goes, hey, well, you want to see my guns? He goes, I got fucking all kinds of guns and shit. I got this, that, an AR-15, whatever. You want to see them? They're in my truck right there. And I looked over there, and it was a little, like, work truck, little white work truck. And I could see from as far as that there was, like, stuff out the back, like tools and stuff. And he told me he did some job. I don't remember. So he had a job. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, look. I'm starting to put it together, but I need a fucking beer now. I'm out of fucking, it was before 2, so I had just finished, or this motherfucker had just finished my fucking Fireball and whatever. I had some beers and shit, and I was like, well, let's walk to the 7-Eleven, bro. So we walked to the 7-Eleven, and I swear to God, man, at the same time, he's strapped up. If it was me, bad shit happens all the time, like cops and shit, but, we're walking towards the 7-Eleven to go get some more alcohol, and he had something in his hand, and I swear to you, man, you're not gonna believe this. A sheriff rolled up, and he's like, oh, them fucking pigs, and he grabbed whatever he had, something, I don't remember what it was. It's probably one of the cans I had of the alcohol, or the Fireball. I don't know what it was. But he threw it at the sheriff. Wow. And they just stopped, and they looked. But then they kept going. I'm like, oh, this fool gonna keep busting. But I couldn't believe that at all. It doesn't make no sense. But it's just one of them nights, right? And then we make it to the 7-Eleven, right? We're at the 7-Eleven. And I don't know what his beef was with the trash can, but there's a trash can in front of it, like one. You can move it, you can slide it, you know what I mean? But it's a regular size trash can, you know, for people. And I don't know. He went balls out on this trash can. He grabbed that motherfucker. He started punching it. Boom, boom, boom. What, you think I'm no good? You said I'm no good? He started pop, 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 punching his fucking trash can. I'm like, oh, this dude's nuts, right? And then he dragged it out to the street. And he started kicking it. I said, hey, the fuck you doing, man? That's littering, bro. Put the shit back in there. And he's like, what? I said, dude, nah, man, you're looking stupid. You're bringing heat over here, fool. I was like, man, bring this shit back. Oh, my bad. So he started dragging the trash can back. I was like, fuck this. So I go inside, right? I go inside the fucking 7-Eleven. I go buy, get some more beer and shit. And then, he walks in, and there's a brother in there buying something. I don't know what this dummy, he look like he's a big boy, you know? And this fool, he says something not even cool to him, and I was like, like this dude gonna get fucked up right now, and I'm not gonna back him up, not on this one, because he was just way out of line, right? And plus, at this point, I've established that he on the other side. So, you know, I'm not judging. I'm just, I am, fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just, he on the other side. But point is, that cat was cool. He's like, he looked at me, He looked at him. And maybe he was thinking because there's two of us, but there wasn't two of us. There was me and then there was him. And I wasn't connected with this guy. Don't forget, meanwhile, he's still walking around strapped up, but at this point you couldn't see it. I don't know where it was at. I don't remember, because I looked at him and you couldn't see it. But the brother was like, man, I ain't fucking with these fools, you know? And so he left. And I turned, I told the dude, man, you're actually stupid, dog. Why you talking dumb? And then he was like, oh, man, my bad. I let you down. Like, I let you down now. I was like, well, okay. But the 7-Eleven guy was kind of tripping because he just beat up the trash can, right? He just fucked up the trash can. It was crazy. So I told the 7-Eleven guy, I'll make, you know, whatever's out there, I'll clean it up. Whatever. He was like, is this your friend? I'm like, because I never seen you with him before. I'm like, nah, but whatever. I'll look out for it. And he's like, all right. Because it's a place that I go every day. I frequent every day. So, anyways, we walk outside. I give him a couple beers, whatever it was I bought. And then he sat down. There's like a ledge, something to sit on right outside the 7-Eleven, facing the street, right? And he sat down and he started drinking that shit, you know, in public. I've got it drunk in public before. And so I'm like, I'm not trying to open my can in public, but I ain't scared. But I'm just saying, but I ain't trying to do some dumb shit, you know? So anyways, it was late. And by this point, I wasn't depressed anymore, because I'm thinking whatever this guy's going through, which is what it was it turned out he had went SNY to the other side. He thought he had support. I don't know what he did wrong. I don't even care. I think he ended up on a bad yard and then take off or something. But the point is, when he paroled, he thought he had his homeboys, and he thought he had his family, even his family, his actual flesh and blood brothers and his uncle, and they went against him too. And that's got to be some fucked up shit. Like I told, I had made a comment in my video to that Dubs dude. I was like, hey, can you even look yourself in the mirror? I don't know how he does it. Well, this cat apparently was going through that because he couldn't look himself in the mirror. And I can't understand that. I can understand it, but I can't. What that means is, like, I haven't been through that. You know what I mean? I never went out sideways, backwards, or whatever. You know, I've always just been me, kept it solid. Because the way I see it, okay, there's a couple story situations. This is one. All I know is I've never been through what this guy's been through. But if I was to try and imagine it, I'm sure it was pretty bad. You know what I mean? How it feels when even your own family is against you for you know what I mean, not being that guy, I guess. And that's gotta hurt. You know what I mean? It really does. But some of us could say, including myself, just kept it solid, bro, because I'll give you one more story about this. But anyways, so what ended up happening was I was like, he said, hey, let's go for a drive, fool. You want to go for a drive? And I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? Oh, I forgot I left that one part. A fucking sheriff pulls up when he was sitting there drinking his open container, and they stop, and I'm sitting just next to him, and because this guy had just started, he was talking to me again. He's like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry for letting you down. You know what I mean? And I'm like, letting me down? I'm like, okay, whatever, right? And then he started crying again, right? We started crying again. I'm like, man, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I mean, I'm thinking, this motherfucker, man, like, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of gay, but whatever. But he was really drunk. He's going through it, right? So I'm like, man. By this point, I had already talked to him. I had given him a lot of, like, my insight of, you know, I could be real insightful sometimes. So I was talking to him and shit, and he was feeling, because I told him, man, he's talking about the gym. I said, yeah, go to the gym. You know what I mean? If you ain't got your lady, get a new one. Fucking take care, be there for your kids at all times. You know what I mean? They love you. Believe me, they don't give a fuck about this fucking bad standing, good standing, S&Y shit, you know what I mean? So you'll be all right, bro, you know what I mean? But meanwhile, so then the sheriff pulls up again, a different one, and, well, actually, I don't even know if it's a different one, but I'm assuming it was, and pulls up, and he got his open container, he's sipping and shit, and they look, and they're like, is everything cool? And I'm thinking, oh, this fool going to jail for real, and then he goes, yeah. and then they take off. I was like, what the fuck? That's not even normal. But if it was me, it would lock me the fuck up. I would be like, oh God, I'm gone forever. So it's just like that sometimes. Anyways, back to the story. So at this point, like I was like, this guy, like I don't know. But then he's like, hey, let's go for a drive. Want to go for a drive? And then he goes, and I'll show you the rest of my guns in the car, truck. I was like, yeah, sure, I do. But tell you what, you go and you come with me to pick up my truck out there in the desert. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do all that. Fuck that. This guy, I don't know, either it's gonna be a real bad ending or he go to jail. But at this point, I wasn't depressed anymore, yo. I wasn't. I was ready to go home and just give my lady a hug and my kid and be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Because this was going through it, you know. There's a little more to the story I left out because of whatever reasons, but I was like, I'll tell you what, you go get your truck, and then I'm going to walk this way because I got to go towards her. I think my lady's looking for me by this point, right? So I just told him that. She probably didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But anyways, so he goes, all right, I'm going to go get it. And then, so I started walking and shit. And I'm trying to walk kind of even fast. I'm hoping he don't fucking find my ass. Because I already know I'm going to get caught up with this motherfucker. And I'm like, fuck. I don't have to hurt him either. And I'm like, except I was feeling bad and shit. Then I was like, man, I'm going to hurt this motherfucker or I'm going to end up in jail. Because I won't be with him. So I'm just, but yeah, I don't know. It was just a weird situation, but it made me think. And what I was thinking is, I don't know what it's like to be on that side, to be able to not be able to look at yourself in the mirror. Because I've always had self-respect, and I've, if anything I've ever done right in my life, it's to stay solid and be honest and like I wear everything on my sleeve. I ain't got nothing to hide. So if you got a question, ask me, and I'll give you the answer. You know what I mean? If it's about me or anything else, you know what I mean? If it's about something else, I'll give you my best opinion or an answer that I might even know the answer. And if it's about me, I'll just tell you straight up. You know what I mean? And what it is. And I never seen that guy again, but I can tell you what happened to him. I ended up getting to my girl's apartment and she opened the door. I gave her a hug and I was like, baby, I'm not depressed anymore because this cat, I told all about this guy, so he has it a lot worse than I got it, you know? And to all the youngsters out there, anybody going through some hard times, there's probably someone out there going through some even harder times, and you just gotta appreciate the day, appreciate every day. You know what I mean? Every day you wake up, you should be like, today is a good day to be alive. You know what I mean? Especially because there's people out there. I got a couple home. I got one homeboy, Raleigh, rest in peace, that he had leukemia and he had leukemia, right? And I remember when he was dying, and there's a point where he was in a coma, and they imagine this story on this shit. The doctors went to him and told him, hey, you're gonna die in the next couple of days, or not even, like maybe within 20 hours or something. You're done, it's over. And he's like, fuck. And he said, but we were working on this experiment, right? And the experiment, or something, I don't know what the fuck to call it, but they're working on something to where we can save you some time, you know what I mean? And he's like, well, how much you can give me? He goes, well, we could save you 6 months. And then he's like, oh, okay, 6 months, right? And otherwise, you're gonna die in hours. And he's like, fuck, I don't have a lot of decision. And then he said, well, so, but what if it doesn't work? And I said, then you're dead, you know? And he's like, what do I have to do? He goes, well, we're gonna put you in a coma, we're gonna try it. And then, but you don't have any more time. So he goes, what are the chances I'm gonna make it out of the coma? He said 50-50. And then, I mean, they said 50-50, and then they're like, he's like, fuck. And well, how much time do I have? I want to say goodbye to my kids. He said, you don't have any time. And they right now, we'll give you 3-4 minutes. And this cat, had to get on the fucking, like a phone and record to say goodbye to his kids and his girl and everything. Like, tell him I love you, this is that, and you're the man of the house now to his sons. And imagine making that phone call or that recording, because as soon as they put him in a coma, they induced it. There's a 50-50 chance, and those odds aren't really good that he won't get out, he won't wake up. And then he went into that coma. All these stories come together, by the way, kind of. And so he went into a coma, and then he was out, I don't know, I think it was 2 months. He hadn't been going for like 60 days, 90. I don't think it was 3 months. I'd say like 2 months. He came out the coma freaking out, though. And it worked, though, because they promised him like 6 months. And he actually lived another year. So he got a year. But when he woke up, he freaked out because he could hear everything that was going on around him while he was in a coma. And no one believed him. But then he started talking about the conversations that were had. And he was in there like just freaking out, screaming like on that. There's a Twilight Zone like this. It's like, I'm awake. And he's talking about there was some sheriff, because he's slaying dope and shit. Anyways, they were talking about that there's some sheriff or detectives that were there talking to the doctor and saying that if he walks away, could walk away if they just pull that plug right there real quick. You know what I mean? Because he be doing the people a service, and the doctor was like, "What? Nah, fuck no. You don't get the fuck out of my hospital. Like, don't. You know, I don't give a fuck who he is or what he does. You know what I mean? I have a job to save lives, and I swore an oath. So get the fuck out of here." And that really happened. You know what I mean? And the detectives just kind of left, and he even had called security on the sheriff. Real talk. And my boy woke up. He woke up, and he came over, and I visited him, and he visited me, in other words, blah, blah, blah. And it's good. It's really good to see him, and I miss his ass, you know. But the thing is, I remember telling him that, like, talking about heroes, I told him, man, you're like my hero, you know what I mean? Because that's strength right there. Like, could you imagine how hard it would be to have to say goodbye to, when you know, like, you got hours to live, and you got to say goodbye to your kids and all that? Man, you know what I mean? And they go through that. And he always kept a positive smile on his face. And he was always positive. Me, I'd be going through it and shit. If that was the case, fuck, I was crying over, like a little bitch over I wasn't crying, I don't have tears, but I was sad, you know what I mean? Over my girl, thinking that my life ain't shit. And losing my job or something. But this guy's like got hours to live, and this other fucking cat is no good. He's S&Y, it turned out. And his whole family's against him too, you know what I mean? These guys are going through it, and my problems weren't that hard, so that made me feel like straight, like kind of like a bitch, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, man. I ain't like that. I appreciate every day, you know what I mean? So every day you wake up, and anybody who's going through it, there's someone out there that's got it way harder than you. Trust me on this. And what ended up happening to both these is my homeboy, he passed away. He passed away, rest in paradise. And the other cat, I remember his name now. I remember his neighborhood, but I'm not gonna say it. It's locally around where I'm staying right now. I had brought his name up to a coworker of mine later on when I started working again. That the homie from Carlos from Pacoima was cracking that little fish. Or Fish, he's his brother. That's my boy and shit. He knows who he is. And so if you see him, what's up? Anyways, I had brought up the story to him, and he knew the guy. And it turned out he was dead. He died like right after that. He committed suicide. That dude fucking killed himself, yo. And that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And honestly, so my thing is, I don't even know what these guys gotta be dealing with a lot of shit. Now I don't really care, whatever, but there's some shit that people are going through that it's almost impossible to imagine what they're going through. But if I just say, just appreciate your own life and what you're going through, and what you're going through will get better, because now I'm doing a lot better. I'm working, I'm making good money. I got just a company truck. Everything, things are working out. You know what I mean? And so whatever it is, it's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. And if it is, fuck, I don't know, talk to someone, reach out, and because whatever it is, there's people that are going through it too. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like, I don't know, because how my homeboy that was dying of leukemia, how he's able to keep a good spirit, I don't know, but that's fucking amazing to me. So with that, and since some people told me I need to grow up. I gotta address it. I need to grow up. You know what? Why? Man, people say why. I go why? Why do I need to grow up? For what? I'm not in no hurry to grow up and die. I mean, I'm not playing with like G.I. Joes and shit, but I do some dumb shit, you know what I mean? Like act kind of stupid and childish, but fucking maybe even throw gang signs because you know what my hood is? Those are my brothers right there. I ain't out there fucking gangbanging. I ain't out there fucking shooting fools up and shit. You know, I'm a fucking sureño capoeiro fool. Like I ain't trying to I don't hate anybody. Well, nah, not really. I don't hate anybody. So like fucking when people like grow up, you know, and like that's some kid shit, whatever. I'm just living, bro. I'm having fun. Grow up for what? Like, tell me why. You know what I mean? I'm having a good time. If the people around me don't mind it and they like who I am, then I'm just being me. If I'm being played for, if I need to grow up and get past some shit. But I do have a positive message. I need to go. I didn't realize how long it's been. So with that, you know, shout out to you guys, to everybody. Oh, and I appreciate the support and the love that I'm getting. Fuck yeah, that's just dope. Look at that. The sun's coming out now. Cool. So with that said, I don't know. I'm gonna put another song there though. You know it. Anyways, radio tonight is definitely a late night. Dale gas.
Locos gang. Gang, gang, gang. Clowns, lanes, trains, gang. Clowning all the haters and lames, trains, gang. What's West LA for those who don't know? Do I need to explain it slow? Here I go, ho, so you know. Pay attention while I spell it out for you, fool. W is for the west. For corners we ride, West LA the best side. Established gang ties, always down to ride, validated south side. That's onion and not a race, respect anytime, any place. T stands for too damn crazy, too damn bad. Never have it, never had, never scared, never sad. So smooth south side, ripping a big 1-3 from the desert to the sea. M-O-U-S-C, I intelligence a must. Gangsterism, honor, respect and trust. D down to the bone, put a bullet in the dome. Me, every woman's there to see. Concrete, jungle shining bright, west side lights 3-3, 2-3, 4-3, 4-3, 1 up and don't you know down to fight, down to throw you in a hole 6 feet deep at night. We creep strategically in these streets. Next letter is the V. Victory, we stand a force known across the land. Eyes media, let's test you all 1-3. As media way strong all day, all night long. Homie, pass me the bomb. LOCOS. Living only corpus in the streets. Low just playing, I'm just saying we don't give a fuck. Crazy ass fools running amok in last squad deep, no sleep. We play for kids, ride or die, no lie. Listen to what I say. West side, Vaya Locos, gang, gang, gang. West side, Vaya Locos, gang, gang, gang. It's a west side thing, all swag, pants, sag, black rag. Here jelly gins to the blue and flat. In and out of gangs of our city into the public. Rapping our hoods, we stand one nation under God. Our system, throwing up the V for all to see. It's just us. On the 12s, we stand tall. West side, D-Loach, gang, gang, gang.